Hi guys, Matthew Lippert back with another video. Today I'm in the kitchen again. I'm going to do this real simple one pot chicken pasta bacon dish. I don't have a name for it, but it's got chicken, it's got pasta, it's got bacon. Bacon makes everything better. We know that, right? So do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video. Also, let me know what part of the country, what part of the world you're watching this thing from. It's always good to see the reach of this channel. Also, let me know how you change this recipe to make it your own. What you did differently than what I'm going to do. Maybe you season it differently. Maybe I'm using chicken thighs. Maybe you use chicken breasts. Just tell me out in the comment section what you do differently. I'll leave the whole recipe in the description, and look forward to hearing your comments. Let me turn this thing around. Let's get started. Okay, I've got a pound of bacon here. I'm going to cut this in about roughly an inch wide pieces. Just close. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to throw it in this skillet here that I just turned on. Going to cook all this up, just render this down a little bit, and then we'll set it aside. And when we get to the next step, we'll be back. Okay, I've got a little over 3 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. I will use a little over half of this. You want to have about 1.5 pounds or so. Just want to cut this into bite-sized pieces. Whatever you consider bite-sized pieces, that's different for everybody. Just kind of cube it up a little bit and then set it off to the side. And we'll come back to that in a little bit. And I'll go ahead and do the rest of this off camera, and then we'll be back. Okay, I'm going to add a little chopped onion to this, dried chopped onion. If you want to chop up an onion, put in here, you can. I'm not a big onion fan. I've also got some minced garlic here that I'm going to put in there. That's going way too slow. Let this cook into that bacon. That's going to add some additional flavor to that. I've turned up the heat just a little bit to about medium. And I may turn up just a little bit more still, like to medium high, to cook this bacon. Let all that, those chopped dried onions and that minced garlic to get cooked in here with this. And then when it's done, we'll pull it out. Okay, I'm going to dump the chicken into this bowl. And you can season it however you want. I'm just going to do a pinch of black pepper, some garlic powder. I'm not measuring it. I'm doing roughly a tablespoon of each. Probably just a pinch of the black pepper. Brand new onion powder. Wouldn't you know? Roughly a teaspoon of onion powder, same thing. And then my favorite seasoning is ancho chili powder. A little bit of ancho chili powder on it. It's not hot, so if you use too much of it, it's not going to hurt. And then cornstarch. It says in there a bit of cornstarch in here. A couple tablespoons of cornstarch. Grab me a tongs, and we're going to just get all this mixed up here. Cornstarch in with the chicken. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing here when I'm done. So you got a good coating of everything on the chicken. And once you get inside of, once everything gets in the pan, it's all going to be, I think you can see that. Yeah, there you can see that. Good coating of that. Now my bacon is done. I'm going to pull my bacon out, set it aside, and then we'll be right back. So I'm going to pull this bacon out. I'm not going to pull all the grease out. I'm going to leave that bacon fat in there for later. Throw this on a paper towel, and we'll let some of this grease drain off in here. And then we're going to cook this chicken in the bacon fat, what's left over in the pan. Get as much of my bacon as I can. And if there's a couple pieces left, it ain't going to hurt. Now you got some leftover bacon fat in here. Now my chicken goes into that. And now we're going to, same thing, we're going to cook this chicken over about medium heat for, well, until it's done. You want to have it pretty well done. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely done because it's going to continue to cook. But the cornstarch is going to help keep everything thickened up. And I'll let this cook. Again, we'll cook it probably about 5 to 8 minutes until everything's cooked. In these small pieces like this, it'll cook pretty quick. And then we'll be back. Let me zoom in here. There. Yeah, we'll be back in just a few minutes after this is cooked. Okay, once the chicken is cooked, I want to go ahead and pull it off of here, put it onto a clean plate. You don't want to take cooked chicken or cooked a meat and put it on the same plate that you had the raw meat. Either use a different plate or clean the plate. In this case, I'm using a different plate. We'll get all this chicken out of here. And then we'll set it aside. Then we'll take one whole container of chicken broth. I think you can see that, yeah. We'll pour that whole container of chicken broth in here. We'll turn this up to a medium-high heat. Dump the whole thing in there. And then we'll take a pound of whatever pasta you prefer. I'm going to use, for this one, penny pasta. You can use rigatoni, you can use elbow macaroni, whatever you choose. Like I say, I'm using penny pasta, just my choice for this. Now we're gonna, like I said, put this on a medium-high heat. We're gonna let this thing cook here for, let it come to boil, let it cook for 8 to 9 minutes till the pasta has gotten soft and it's basically absorbed. As it gets soft and cooks, it will absorb all of this chicken broth. And when that happens, we will come back. Okay, the chicken broth has pretty much all been soaked up into the pasta, and I'm going to lower this down to a little bit above a simmer. And then I'm going to add a cup of heavy whipping cream. I had it already, still had it in the refrigerator. A cup of heavy whipping cream. Stir that in. And then I'm going to add some cheese. You know me. You guys that watch my channel, you know me and cheese. Everything has to have cheese. Well, almost everything. We're going to put a bunch of cheese in here. About a cup and a half, whatever. I mean, I don't think I ever measure how much cheese I put in. I just put it in there. As that starts to melt, which is pretty quick, then I'll add the rest of what's in this bag. Set that aside. And then just continue to stir this as this cheese melts. And then once this cheese melts, then we're going to dump in the bacon and the chicken. It's already looking good. It's sure smelling good. Of course, you got that, had that bacon frying. You can still smell the bacon. All right, now we'll take the bacon, dump that in here, give that a little stir. And this was a whole pound of bacon. Pounds of plenty here. A pound of bacon, not quite a pound of cheese, but a pound of pasta. And then we'll put this chicken in here with the leftover juices and everything. Dump that in there. And then mix this all up. And if it gets a little bit too dry, you can always add some more heavy whipping cream to it, which I may end up doing. We'll see. But just get this all incorporated. Let all the flavors kind of marry together. And I'm just going to kind of let it simmer here for about 10 minutes or so. Just let all these flavors marry together. And then we'll be back. Okay, it's all done. This is a finished product. I'm going to bring the camera right over here over top of it. I did add almost a whole cup of heavy whipping cream in addition to that, because with the cornstarch onto that chicken, it's going to thicken it up some. And it did. It thickened up really nice. Let me bring the camera right over top of this. There it is. Man, it looks good. I had a little sample of it already. It tastes pretty good. Looking forward to eating this thing. Okay, guys, there you go. I don't even have a name for this dinner. I just saw this on, I don't know, Instagram or some kind of a short or reel. I changed it a little bit from what I saw it, and I encourage you to do the same thing. I use a different kind of noodle. I didn't use real onion. I'm not a big onion fan. I added some garlic to it. I use different seasonings, and do whatever you want to do with it. I changed things up a little bit, and then I added some additional heavy whipping cream at the end because as that chicken began to thicken up and the whole mixture began to thicken up because of the cornstarch on the chicken, it was going to be too thick. So I added that extra a little bit of heavy whipping cream, and that's just going to add to the flavor. So you got heavy whipping cream, you got bacon. I mean, how can you go wrong, right? I mean, it's going to be a rich, decadent dinner, and it's all in one pot. And so pretty cool. Do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video. Also, like I said at the beginning, leave in the comment section what part of the world or the country you watch this from. It's always good to see the reach of this channel. Until next time, may God bless you and have a great day.